Hi, how are you?
This is where I was created. This is where you answer the chat. So where did it? And you're on, when you're at the top, you're on. Now everyone else will do. All right, so we're going to just take this around. We're going to take a look and see who's here. Did you want to say hi?
Hey everyone. Welcome. Thank you for joining the live stream.
There may be
This is very exciting. We're just getting used to everybody here. And I'm going to barge in on conversations. Can I interrupt for a moment? Did you want to say hi and say your name and what business you're representing?
Oh, hi. My name's yes, we did. Hi, my name is Tynon Bala. I am the founder and CEO of Tynon Holistics. We are a well-being lifestyle company, and we offer personal training, massage therapy, and life and mindfulness coaching.
I'm so glad you made it. I'm so glad you came.
Hi, Josh. How are you? I love
Regina's a little shy. I know, this is great. You guys see it's got a fuzzy top too. And we talked to you, Molly. That was great. Kate, we're going to hear from you real soon.
I'm Kate Frymoon. I'm the owner of this establishment.
We're going to hear from you on the program. This is great. Hi, Sierra. Did you want to say your name and what your business is?
Yes, I'm Sierra Sanders, and I'm looking to open an ice cream shop.
Outstanding. Well, that's fun. Where are you located?
I'll be located once I open in the Beverly neighborhood in Chicago.
Hi.
Just name and business?
Yeah, name and business.
Hi, I'm Ashley Hearn. I'm with Chicago Star Media, and we're located in the Aon Center.
Oh, that's so cool. Oh, that's a good location.
Absolutely.
What did you next?
Hi everyone, I'm Destiny Beaumore, and I have a consulting business called DeFi Consulting Firm, and we help small and medium business owners get their business started with project management and automation.
Yes. Hello, everyone. My name is Hugh Cooper. I'm the owner manager of a transportation company. We specialize in transporting construction materials such as asphalt, stones, clay, dirts, and sands to various construction sites and rock quarries. Thank you.
Welcome to Let's Chat Live.
Hi.
Did you want to say hi to our viewers?
Oh.
This is for the recording and for the live stream.
Yeah.
Say your name and what business are you from?
My name is Liz Ahern, and I'm Picnic Wine and Provisions. Yeah.
Thank you so much for
Thank
coming.
you. Thanks.
because
they're very clear, like it stays in house.
Do you go by Jim or
He goes
James?
by Jim.
I'm not concerned, but I don't.
That's nice. A little. Do you want to answer questions on the chat? So Dania here is going to be answering questions on the chat. Put in the chat if you can't hear anything. And maybe move up the table so that your head is not blocking the. Maybe move it. Hi. Could you say this is for our recording and just to introduce yourself? Did you want to say your name and what company are you from?
Oh, sure. Hi, this is Beth Kozlizny with Picnic Wine and Provisions.
That's so cool. What does that do?
We are a wine bar in Rogers Park.
Oh, that's so cool. I want to be there. I love it.
Hello, my name is Yara. I'm from Brazilian space industry. Yeah, nice to meet you.
Very good. And what do you guys do?
Make partnerships between the United States and Brazil in different space initiatives. So many opportunities. Yeah.
Outstanding. There is a Brazilian space industry?
Yeah, a lot of talent, and they want to collaborate with many Americans. So yeah.
Very good.
A lot of patented technology that they want to be able to bring to the United States as well, and have Americans have benefits from.
Great. Oh, that's fantastic. Is there offices here in Chicago for the space industry?
Not yet. I just brought my partner here to Chicago for the first time, like about a week ago, and he really loved it. So he would love to bring that to Chicago. Well, yeah.
Oh, that's fantastic. Oh, very interesting. Nice to meet you. Hi, did you want to say your name and what business you're from?
Hi, my name's Alicia. I just launched my new business, Creole Marie Hair Goddess. It's a luxury hair extension line. You should come check me out.
Outstanding. Are you online?
I am on Instagram right now, but I am working on my website.
Cool. Nice to meet you. This is our speaker, Jim Feldman. Thank you.
We can go. All right, everyone. Hello. Welcome. Good morning. Good morning. Thank you, everyone, for joining. My name is Isaac Smoke. I'm the Director for Access to Capital with Women's Business Development Center. And it's great to have you all here. Thank you so much for coming to Let's Chat Live. We're here at Necessary and Sufficient Coffee. Let me get out my notes so I don't forget anything. Hold on. So thank you everyone for coming. I want to thank, first of all, Kate, CEO and founder of Necessary and Sufficient Coffee. So if you get a chance to talk to Kate, definitely do so. It's an awesome time to just talk to her, hear about her vision for what Necessary and Sufficient is and what it's going to continue to be. This is her second location. So her first location's up in Logan Square, and really a beautiful business. So we're going to hear from her in a little bit. But before we do that, I just want to talk a little bit about Let's Chat and Let's Chat Live. So the second person I need to thank, or the entity I need to thank, is Huntington Bank. So Huntington Bank helped us to make Let's Chat go live. So this has been a regular webinar that the Access to Capital team has been hosting. Access to Capital team, say hey. So this is the Access to Capital team over here. I just joined them a couple months ago. Everyone online can see them too. All right. So we've been doing this webinar, and this webinar is kind of focused on topics that are of interest and that are useful to small business. And so we wanted to take this live, so we're really, really glad that you all were here to come in person. And everyone online, thanks for joining as well. I really appreciate it. So before we have any more things to say, I want to just introduce Kate, who's going to come up and speak into the little mic about necessary and sufficient.
Thank you. I am so excited to have you all here. Thank you so much for coming out. I'm really excited to be working with the WBDC on this project. Thank you for letting our business be the inaugural business. I have 2 locations. I'm a full-time working artist, and I opened the other location in front of my art studio in Logan Square as a placemaking and art project that really just stole my life in the best possible way and took me down this coffee path. Now we are the only hospitality business in Chicago that is living wage for U.S. certified, guaranteeing a living wage to all of our employees. We're also Oceanic Global certified. We have 2 stars. If you know about getting your stars with Oceanic Global, 2 is really hard to get. This is for our sustainability practices, and we're partnered with Shed Aquarium. We have so far, at last calculation, diverted 43,000 pounds from landfill to healthy soil compost. So we're really proud of our facility and our sustainability practices. And if anybody has any questions about that, I'm happy to answer your questions and inspire others to have more sustainable practices. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks, Kate. So next up, we have Aisha Ahrens. She's our Director of Digital Equity and Inclusion at the Women's Business Development Center. So she's going to talk about the center and what we do for digital equity.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us this morning, and thank you to the Access to Capital team for inviting me to be part of your Let's Chat Live. My name is Aisha Ahrens. I am the Director of Digital Equity and Inclusion at the WBDC. I am part of Program Innovation. That's my colleague right here, Regina. So Program Innovation was really created to help small business owners keep up with an ever-changing business landscape. We do that by providing small business owners the necessary skills to help them thrive. With my role in particular, there's 2 parts. Part of it is the education portion, helping small business owners learn digital tools that they can easily incorporate to help them keep up with, larger businesses. A lot of you are solopreneurs, and we salute you, but it's, that work-life balance is a real thing. So digital tools help you. So instead of doing completing a task over 5 hours, why not take 20 minutes? You know your process. The second part of my job is advocacy. The digital divide is a real thing across the nation. With our digital equity work, I do work with the state on their digital equity capacity Kickstarter program, and then also the city of Chicago with their digital equity capacity. There's so many acronyms here. the digital equity plan, and part of that is helping bridge that digital divide. We all knew that it existed, but it really became exposed during the pandemic when you started seeing children who didn't have the connectivity to reach their schools, and then also with business owners who were unable to apply for the necessary, COVID relief funding because they didn't have access to good connectivity, or they didn't have something as simple as online tax returns, like a copy of that. So my work is, advocating for, in our role, small business owners who do fall between the cracks and just bringing them back up. But with our program in digital equity, we've been thinking about this before the pandemic. So we are available. 2 of our programs too. I support all of the departments with the WBDC. 2 of our cohorts that we have coming up is Scale Up and Scale Higher. So if you are interested, I think we have information in our goodie bags here, and then I think there's information on our email for those of you at home. Hello. But with our Scale Up and Scale Higher program, these are 2 cohorts that are set up to help you bring your business to that next level. If there's any information that you need on what's it called, on access to capital, that's part of it. Financial management is a big part of it. Leadership skills. So we cover marketing. So these are two really great programs that I invite you to check out. But if you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out to us. We're here all the time. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Aisha. All right, so as you know, please make sure to say hey to everyone and spend time afterwards introducing yourself, networking. This is why we're live and this is why we're here. And those at home, please feel free to reach out as well. So I want to introduce our speaker. He is our central speaker today, so we're really excited to have him. Jim Feldman, he's a famous Nowist, renowned author, speaker and consultant who has appeared on CBS, NBC, ABC, and Fox. Please welcome your AI concierge, Jim.
Let's get this turned on. So you may want to slide down so you're able to see this. Find yourself a comfortable spot. All right, why not?
You guys are in for a treat, I promise.
There we go. So let's talk about what's going on in the world today with this digital revolution, evolution. It is more powerful than electricity, a better changer than the internet. And with that comes misunderstanding, fear. How do I use it? What is it doing? Is it stealing all my information? Let me put all that behind you. AI is not going to take your job away from you. AI is going to take your business away from you. You're not using it, and your competitors are. It's that simple. AI works 24/7. It knows your business needs before you do. It understands that there is an app for that. But he's stealing my stuff. Okay. Your stuff is a grain of sand on the largest beach in the world. It's there somewhere, but nobody's going to find it. If you're using ChatGPT, you can go into the settings and stop it from even putting it into their database. I can tell you that it's a waste of time. Everything that we do, somebody else has already done before us. Most of what we do is a deviation, a permutation, or we're building on someone else. So why not use this as your assistant? And let me describe the assistant. Speaks 39 languages. Understands everything in business. Has every master's degree, PhD degree. Makes no decisions. Has no emotion. Doesn't check its own work and often hallucinates. If you were hiring a new assistant that would work 24/7, didn't take a coffee break, never went on vacation, didn't complain about where the bathroom was, didn't complain that the weather was bad, and you could hire that person for $20 a month, why are you not paying the $20 on ChatGPT? 75% of the people that are on ChatGPT are using the free version. Hello? It's $20 a month. I don't get it. Now, if all you need ChatGPT is to do things that were available from 2022 and earlier, it's fine. If you want to find out new stuff, it's from 2022 on and have access to the internet, you need ChatGPT 4. They are not the only game in town. I'm going to talk about that in a second. However, they're the leaders. And they have had billions and billions of dollars put into what they do. I want you to know that robots can be creative. I want you to know that not only can robots be creative, they turn your what ifs into your why nots. In the inside of my bathroom and several other places, I have little messages to myself. What if? What's next? What's possible? And why not? And to do that, I developed a thing called 3D thinking. I call it going inside the box instead of outside the box. If you use the metaphor of the box and you're outside the box, how do you have any idea what the problem is? If you don't know what the problem is, you can't come up with a solution. When she wants to learn how to make croissants, she doesn't go to a football coach, typically. She goes and looks for what Julia Child said or what Paul Bocuse said or something, because she's building on that information. Now, when she gets there, she may go, yeah, no, I like a little sweeter. Oh, I like a little more salt. That's the variations. ChatGPT is one AI tool. It is not the only AI tool. And when you're done looking at it, it's a Swiss Army knife. At the end of the day, you've got a Swiss Army knife in your pocket. You don't know which tool you're going to need until your rope is all tied up and you go in and it's got a saw. Or you need a magnifying glass, or you need a knife, or you need tweezers, or whatever. And that was the fun part of a Swiss Army knife, that it had everything that you might need even though you didn't know you needed it. And that's ChatGPT. So one of the questions that I'm often asked is it possible to grow your business with less hustle? That's what this is all about. This is literally putting your business on turbocharge. And if you're not, your competitor is going to go right by you. Number two, anyone that tells you that they're an AI expert, run away. You cannot be an expert on something that is changing this rapidly. I mean, if you think about it, would you go to a brain surgeon that is sitting there with the book, reading the book while he's doing brain on your head? Probably not. You want to know that that person has done brain surgery, and most of the people are still alive and cognizant, etc. So you do your homework. You got to do your homework with your assistant. Your assistant needs to be trained. You need to talk to it. And once you do that, you can start to create what we refer to as business differentiation mastery. What makes her business different than anybody else's? Why are you here? Forget that we're having a meeting, but why are you here as opposed to going to a Starbucks or a McDonald's or any other place that sells coffee? Why are you not at a Dunkin' Donuts? You're here because she has come up with a differentiation. And along with it, good product, good service, etc. Now, if you came here and the products were bad, and it was cold, and the staff was unfriendly, you'd go somewhere else. Why? Because we have choices. The world is made up with choices. You go to McDonald's, you put in your order. What is the next thing? Would you like to supersize that? It's only $1. And we supersize it. Even though we didn't want to do it, we go, oh, it's only $1. Well, do all that. One of my favorite places to go to when I go to California is In-N-Out Burger. If you've never been to In-N-Out Burger, it's phenomenal. In-N-Out Burger has a secret menu. ChatGPT has a secret menu. All AI has a secret menu. The trick is to find it. So I put up here, for those of you that can't read this close, these are all just examples of businesses. So I'm going to hear the back of your head going, well, Jim, you know, I'm a massage therapist, or I'm a trainer, or I'm an artist. I don't need ChatGPT. I don't need AI. I don't need it for anything. Wrong, wrong, wrong. If you hear me say nothing today other than this statement, there's an app for that. Period. Don't let what you think you know prevent you from learning what you need to know. It's here. It's not, oh, I'm going to wait and see if it's going to do anything or not. It's here. Plain and simple. All businesses can use it. It doesn't matter what your business is. Period. And once you're into this, It's a compass. And you have a role in this. And the role in this is to simply refine your approach to get to where you want to go. Excuse my back, I'll talk to you guys in a second. If you're going somewhere on a journey, do you not know where you want to end up? The answer is yes. That's the way you use AI. Establish where you want to go when you've used the tool. Social media, new recipes, ways to make vegan, vegetarian croissants. I'm just making this up on the fly. I was recently asked to bring a potluck to a dinner, and they said, by the way, two of the people there are vegan vegetarians. I said, I don't even know what a vegan vegetarian eats, because I'm a carnivore. I went on ChatGPT, found out, asked for recipes, asked for a shopping list, and then I said, how's this stuff taste? ChatGPT came back and said, well, it's kind of boring. I went back and I said, okay, using these recipes, how do I make it taste better, still within the confines of what we're looking at? I put down the plate in front of this couple. They started eating, and I'm standing there, and I'm like, she turns to me, and she goes, so how long have you been cooking vegan, vegetarian? I said, about 45 minutes. She goes, no, seriously. I said, no, it's the first time. She goes, without a doubt, the single best meal I've ever had in my life. I didn't do it. ChatGPT helped me do it. Once again, you have to think of ChatGPT as this ubiquitous 24/7 assistant that can help you do whatever you want. And again, those of you that can't see this, we're going to give you a slide deck afterwards so that you can review it. This is really a simple statement. To survive and thrive, you must implement AI now before it's too late. How many of you are on ChatGPT 3.5? How many of you are on ChatGPT 4? Okay, good for you guys. You're on 3.5. Okay. I wasn't coming at you. Okay, now you do know that the ChatGPT phone version marries up to the one you have on your desktop or vice versa. You just have to log in with the same information, and then it will keep track of all of that. A lot of people don't do that. They think it's a separate, because it was a separate thing until about 2 months ago. Here's the problem with AI and ChatGPT. They are terrible at training us. I mean, I go on and I go, oh, what is this? I don't know. Oh, I'm going to follow the yellow brick road. I discovered something 2 days ago, blew me away. Blew me away. I did a live presentation with it, and the audience was transfixed. I stumbled on it by accident. Now, to be fair, I have no life. I am on ChatGPT and AI 12 to 16 hours a day. I am thinking of starting a 12-step program because this is getting out of hand. I kept a list of the programs I'm using because I kept forgetting. And I would write them down, and then I would scratch them out. I went and got an eraser pad. So it was happening that quickly and that rapidly. So at the end of the day, think of this like this. With the advent of electric motors, they now have what's called a hypercar. A hypercar is faster than a supercar. A supercar is faster than a Formula One. A Formula One is faster than a turbo, and a turbo is faster than most everybody else's car. However, if you get into a hypercar, which goes 0 to 60 in 2 seconds, you may die. Seriously, the car is really a rocket ship without wings. So you have to have training. AI and ChatGPT require training. How many of you picked up a tennis racket or a racquetball and were almost instantly a superstar? No. You had to learn, you had to practice, you had to figure out. How many of you have cooked something that just tasted terrible, ultimately to figure out how to make it taste good? It's a trial and error. And that's part of the confusion that's out there. And part of the confusion is that the chat functions make it sound very mysterious. It's not. You've hired an assistant. Treat it like an assistant. You wouldn't say to your assistant, here's 23 things I want you to do by the end of the day and walk away. You would say to your assistant, here's one thing I want you to do. When she's training her cooks, does she throw the menu at them and say, go figure out how to cook all this stuff? No. There must be some training. She's in the back. The chef is going, oh, I missed that meeting. It's like a fire hose, isn't it? You just live and learn. Right. Here's the problem with live and learn in this world. It's a live and learn that doesn't stop. It's a live and learn that what you did yesterday may not work today. I am not exaggerating when I tell you, in the middle of a day, I'll go back to one of these tools and go, where did it go? Suddenly, the black border that was along ChatGPT is now white. It has now got a whole different protocol on what it does. Why? Because they keep refining it. They keep playing with it. Two things you need to know. When you are generating artwork, none of these programs can spell. Period. You try to, right? All the time. It doesn't matter. When I was making this pin, each of you got a pin. If you didn't get one, please see me. Beautiful artwork. Could not spell the word concierge at gunpoint. And every time I tried to get it to spell correctly, it changed the artwork. So finally I said, there's got to be a way. And I spent maybe 5 hours figuring it out. I now have the secret to how to make it spell correctly. So I'm now doing a YouTube video, and I'm going to charge $99 for it. Why? Because I think anybody that's been through this is going to be paying $99 and thanking me for it. And if I do really well at $99, I'm going to raise it to $150. I'm going to figure out what that price point is, because I did all the work, but I've solved a huge problem. Now, the moment I tell people how to do it, they don't need me. You move on to the next thing, right? So up here, again, the people on the side can't see it. I've just put up examples. Examples of what ChatGPT can do. But suffice it to say, there's an app for that. Plain and simple. So let me ask you a couple of questions. And this is to the group as you're thinking about it. To use it, you have to be clear on your goals. You have to be clear. I want to go from point A to point B. I want this to write blogs. I want this to do social media. I want this to teach me recipes. I want this to help me come up with an employee manual. I want it to do blah, 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 whatever it is. Then you start to look for the tool that claims it's going to help you. And once you've done that, you come up with a vision. And the vision is like this. If I'm going from point A to point B, what does my customer need to know? So let me play a game for 1 second with, I'm sorry, the owner's name? Kate. Are all of the croissants the same?
Yeah.
No. How do I know that? They're separated on the plate, but there's no little sticker that says, okay, so let's take the worst case. I still don't know what they're filled with. So, what am I going to do? In many cases, I'll take 3 of them, go back and find the one that I want and throw the other 2 away, right? Because I'm a vegan or I'm a vegetarian or whatever. Simple solution, put a little sign there next time. This is a, what are the 3? There's ham, there's bacon, and sausage?
There's caramel chocolate.
A what?
Caramel chocolate.
Oh, chocolate one, yes.
Almond.
Almond. Plain.
And ham cheese.
4. I got 3 plates.
Maybe one
It's one's gone. But here's my point. Everything you do from now on should be viewed from the eyes of your customer, not you. She knows. I've never been to her place before. I happened to pick up one I thought was really good. And then I thought, well, I wonder if they're all the same. I'm just playing with you. But again, a simple thing, but from the user's experience, not that easy to understand, right? So, you put that into ChatGPT. Once again, it's your assistant. If you're coming to my restaurant and I've got that, what suggestions do you have? And you will just start to laugh at how it says, I'll also make the signs for you. Or the sign should be in 32-point type because your audience needs glasses. Again, put in enough information, it will give you the right answers. Identify who can help. And then you want to move every transaction to the next step. So here's a perfect example. She's gone and made fantastic croissants. One of them is gone. The people that didn't see that don't know what they're missing, right? So again, if there were 4 plates and they all had 4 little menu items, you got to remember to take away the menu item as well, because someone's going to come up and say, oh, did I miss out on the chocolate? Can you go in the back and make me another one? The answer is no. So now they're disappointed. So you want to manage expectations. Manage expectations. It's a matter of focus. This little chart says you got all these interactions. I'm capturing emails. I'm doing lead magnets. I'm doing sales funnels. What do I do with it? You run it through an AI tool, and on the other side, it drives revenue, productivity, predictability, and growth. That's cool. That's like Willy Wonka magic stuff. You put in all this stuff you don't know what to do with, and you put it back over there. It'll do your voicemail message. It will go listen to other voicemail messages and say, well, this was pretty clever. Why don't you rewrite this because this person did it better than you did? There's nothing AI can't be used for in some form or fashion. I put this particular chart up because I want to point out there's 35,000 AI tools, and it's growing at about 500 a week. You can't keep up. I found Julius. It's an AI for analyzing data. I thought, how cool is that? What else does something similar? Boom. That's just a small portion of the things that came up. All kind of doing the same thing. But here's one that jumped into it, says, I'm going to do schedule meetings and manage your calendar. Well, what's that got to do with analyzing data? It is analyzing data. It's analyzing your time. So that particular developer has said, I'm going to apply the same technique for data analyzation and put it into scheduling and calendars. So you can do automation, you can become more efficient, you can do customer service. 90% of customer service by the end of next year is going to be AI because it's getting trained. So it's no longer going to go out to the Philippines or India or wherever they're reading from a script. AI is going to do it and do it better. Now, for those of you that have a website, there's now a plugin on WordPress that is an AI-assisted conversation. And it will respond to that person in what looks like real time, but it's really AI. It's $20 a month. Once again, this tools are cheaper than the internet. They are more effective than the internet was. You remember when you were building a website? My first website cost me $13,000. I just built a website yesterday for my new one, which is called AIconcierge.solutions. It built the website in 4 minutes. It cost me $8. Was it perfect? No. Was it fast? OMG. Is it going to be the foundation upon which I'm going to use it? Yes. Plus it was already done for SEO. Plus it included the hosting, and it was $8. Could I hire a web designer to do it? Yes. Now a web designer is probably sitting in this room going, oh golly, what's going to happen to my business? Well, it's very simple. You find this tool, don't tell anybody you got it. You use it to design the website, you're paying $8 and you're charging them $800. That's not a bad deal. Do not be afraid of AI. Embrace it. It is your friend. It is something you need to understand to use. And the use cases are endless. By the way, for those of you who can see the graphics, every graphic you see here was AI generated. Every one of them. Now some people say, well, you know, AI is all starting to look the same. Well, you can change it. You can tell AI, I want you to do it in a Rembrandt or Picasso or whatever you feel like. I look at this, I used to have a graphics department. I had 8 people during COVID, they all went home. Now none of them want to come back. I know they're using AI. It's okay. Because I pay them on the finished project, whether they're doing it by hand or they're doing it digitally. As long as they've done the job for me, I don't care how they do it. Now some people say, well, that's cheating. No, it's not cheating. It's using a new tool that's out there that is revolutionizing how we do business. It'll do e-commerce, it'll do hospitality, it'll do financial advisory. It has a business integration. It has enhanced customer experience. The potential of ChatGPT revolutionizes and levels the playing field for every business. I got a call about a month ago. Mr. Feldman, we understand you do this with AI, blah, blah, blah. We'd like to have you be the keynote speaker for the Vinyl Institute. Vinyl what institute? You know, like vinyl. The only thing I know about vinyl is vinyl floor. Yeah, that's us. We want you to do a ChatGPT AI presentation how we can impact positively the Vinyl Institute on the worldwide environment. What I knew at that point was zero. Nada. They said, by the way, we need to review this with our legal team because this is a government association. Can you have it to us in 72 hours? 72 hours later, it was a 35-deck slide, 45-minute presentation. The lawyer called me up and he said, I thought you weren't in the vinyl industry. I said, I'm not. He goes, you know more than 95% of the people that will be on the call. No, I don't. My assistant does, and I just listened. That's the power of being able to use it. Let me turn this up, if we can. And if not, we won't. That's what happens when we... Bear with me. Oh, it was turned off. Duh.
Like the idea of being prompted to use it for ways of being compliant. And you use this, right, as well as all the prompts, all the scenarios. I'm kind of a difficult kind of person, and so I think a lot of the prompts are opening up everybody's different perspective and different questions. So every time I can dig to get to a whatever. This is kind of a broader situation.
So this was someone who took our 7-week class, started with not even having a subscription to ChatGPT 4, talked her into the $20. She's now using it every day for everything that she does. So literally in 7 weeks, she went from 0 to 60 miles an hour because we guided her step by step by step and said, stick on this path. This is what you want to be able to do with it. Don't go over here. Don't go over there. Because it's a lot of bright, shiny pennies along the way. You go, oh, I'm going to learn how to do this. No. Stay where you're at. To the point of this, when you start to think about it, all of these tools that are up there, it's like going into a candy store. It's like going into a store that's got so many choices like a Sam's Club. How do you walk out of Sam's Club when it's got 40,000 items for sale? I'm a Costco's person. I'm going to explain why in a minute. When I go to Costco's, I know two things for sure. There's a hot dog for $1.50 and there's a chicken for $4.99. That's a for sure. I'm going there to get a hot dog and I'm going there to get chicken. And somehow I walk out of there with $200 worth of stuff in my shopping cart. I don't know how it happened, but I've never gotten out of the store for less than $150. I keep track of it. I am so proud of myself when I get under that threshold. That's what's going on with AI. Somebody says, hey, I just figured out how to, ooh, that's cool. I just figured out how to write poetry. Oh, that's interesting. I now know how to write piano music. It's all there. It's all there. Can it teach you to play tennis? No, you still got to go out and practice. Can it teach you to be a better cook? No, you still got to practice. It can tell me how to do it. It doesn't mean I can do it until I practice. So say hello to my little friend. My little friend is ChatGPT. I'll tell you what. ChatGPT got 1 million users in 5 days. I got to figure there's some people in there that are a whole lot smarter than I am. I want in. It took Netflix 3.5 years to get to 1 million users. ChatGPT is over 200 million users. And 65% of those users are in the United States. The next country is at 6%, and that's Australia. You don't think your competitors are using ChatGPT? Forget it. You cannot ignore it. Either you get on this train and start to use it, or you're going to start to see your business model eroding. It's that simple. Because your customers are also using it. They're saying, hey, I don't need Margaret to do this. I'll do it on my own. Yes.
I like what you said, like in asking whether we do the free ChatGPT versus the $20 a month.
Yes.
And I was wondering, is the reason because when backing up a little bit, I was thinking I could ask ChatGPT what is a good AI tool for X industry.
You can't do that because the free version didn't know they existed.
Right, so that's the issue.
Yes.
Is that the free version is 2 years old data, right? Or
Yeah.
something like
And
that?
back. And back.
And so what's the paid version?
Paid version is everything. It's everything that 3.5 had, plus anything that occurred, plus access to the internet. So if your question is, tell me about AI tools, you have no choice. You got to go to 4 in that particular question. Make sense? It is $20. You guys spend that coming here and having a croissant and a coffee. I mean, I'm not being sarcastic, but why isn't it worth the $20? I'm fascinated. Can I get a coffee and a croissant for $20? I didn't price out anything, did I? Yes. Okay. Because I get the special deal. You see all of these up here, guys? These are alternatives to ChatGPT. You got Google coming out with their new one. You got Microsoft finally getting their head out of their own way. They're rebranding Bing and now calling it Copilot. You've got IBM Watson, who's already dropped off because they can't play. IBM couldn't play. Think about it. There's so much money being thrown at ChatGPT and some of the others. They just said, nah, we're just going to piggyback into it. And what's really interesting is a lot of the tools that are out there are using the tool back end of ChatGPT to power it. They're just rebranding it. Just rebranding it. I had a client call me, I don't know, about a week ago, wanted a scope of work. It was a requirement. I don't write up scopes of work. We need to have a scope of work. We want to hire you, but we need to have a scope of work. Okay, bye. I went in, ChatGPT, and I cranked it out in about 5 minutes. Guy called me back and he says, when can I have it? I said, it's going to take me about a week. I got to do research. I was done. I was happy with it. I sent it to him. He called me up and he says, okay, you won. Why? That was the most complete scope of work that anybody submitted, and we've got our budget. And I said, okay, your budget's not enough. I figured if he loved it that much, I might as well up the price. And he took it. He took it because it was so complete at what it's going to do. I already know how to solve the problem that he is asking me to write the scope of work. That's because once I started writing the scope of work, I kept going saying, okay, if I need to do number 4, I pulled up paragraph number 4, tell me how I use number 4 to get the data to do this, to do that. Yes?
A two-part question. My name is Destiny.
Esty?
Destiny.
Destiny.
Yeah. And I'm curious, what happens when, A, multiple people are using a tool, and B, what happens when you receive the scope of work, but then you go back, how much do you go back in and edit it?
How much do I go back and edit what? I'm sorry.
The scope of work, like, do you just submit it as ChatGPT gave it to you, or do you go back in and put your own flair?
I'm going to put you on the spot. When your husband proposed to you, how many times did he ask you?
One.
That was it.
What was stuff that he came up with though?
Okay, no. I'm being very serious. Don't mess with it. Because then you're giving away free information. You are devaluating yourself. Your scope of work is, I'm going to cover this from 30,000 square feet. When we get granular, this is what's going to cost that much more. I have a rule of thumb. The bigger the problem I solve, the more money I charge. Because if it's a big problem, then I'm entitled to more money. Some people say, well, I only have X. I go, well, then you're talking to the wrong guy. And I'll walk away. That's not being egocentric. I've only got so many hours in the day. So I'd much rather be talking to somebody who values my time rather than, like, I love it when people call, I just have a question to ask. Have you got just a minute? There's no such thing. And I'll go, put it in an email or come to the free webinar. Like every Tuesday night, you may want to write this down and I'll give you a link to it. Every Tuesday night at 7 o'clock Central Time, we have a community. And it's a free-for-all. Ask your questions. If I don't have the answer, our community has the answer. We've been going now. We've got about 40 people that show up regularly. They say it is the single best podcast that they've ever attended. Why? We're not trying to sell them anything. We're all collectively providing information to each other. And I got to tell you, I learn as much from the people that are on it as I provide to the other people. So the answer to number one is, when you do your scope of work, you're done, unless they're changing the budget and asking you to redo it again. Okay? What was your second part?
What happens? The second part is, what happens when there are multiple people using the tool?
I'm sorry?
What happens when there are multiple people using the tool? Is it possible that ChatGPT will submit the same answer twice to different users?
Absolutely not. And if you're worried about that, I'm going to show you how to prevent that from happening. So let's take that.
And just continually taking step by step by step, which you guys have pretty much proved as a nice one. Great job on the presentation. So you're going to hear from everybody, but you guys complement each other, or two different types of approaches, but extremely well done. So again, I will tell you, even from my background in the big corporate world, I'm not sure I attended as many good seminars where you can walk away with information as I have here on my website. Halfway to you guys.
So he took the class. Remember, he was with Hyatt. He had a department. Now he's on his own. He took the class kicking and screaming. He walked out of the class as an advocate. He walked out of the class saying, I had no idea I could do X, Y, and Z. You can't do that overnight. That's why we have this 7-week class, so that you could do it step. With Mr. Spock every single day. Name your assistant. Research tool number 1. You probably have never heard of this. Perplexity. It is the encyclopedia. It is all world knowledge on steroids. Perplexity. So as an example, I asked it a question. I'm going to read you the question. What are the benefits of using ChatGPT for small businesses? This was to prepare me for today. And I put this in to these points. So those are the 4 points that ChatGPT and I came up with using the information from Perplexity. And I put it into Grammarly. How many are using Grammarly? Oh, goody. The single best grammar checker, spell checker. There's a couple others, Quillbot, etc., but I like Grammarly a lot. Grammarly goes in and starts to correct it based on, do you want this to be formal, informal, business, etc., so you can teach it. And it now has AI. Okay? So tool number 2, Grammarly. Grammarly is not only a writing assistant now, but it will rewrite it. Didn't do that 2 months ago. It just checks stuff. Now it'll actually rewrite it for you. OMG. I wrote it in ChatGPT. I'm correcting it in Grammarly. I'm having Grammarly rewrite it. And then I take it and I put it back into ChatGPT and have ChatGPT rewrite it. So your comment about how many people are using it, I've masked it so many times, nobody can figure it out. What?
Perplexity is advantageous because it shows the citation.
That's correct.
So is it? But you're not. But I'm inclined to just use Perplexity as opposed to going to ChatGPT.
Go knock yourself out, but it won't write it for you. It will give you a summary. It'll give you some information, but it's not going to give you my slide deck or my script or my video. It's going to give you the research behind it. If you're doing a white paper or you're doing a LinkedIn article, yeah, it's going to do that for you. I use this as my go-to every day, every single day, because it's so fast and so robust. But there is, to my knowledge, no one tool that does everything. It doesn't, so I try to find which tools play well in the same sandbox. So to your point, I do my research in Perplexity like the vinyl. What it gave me in the vinyl stuff was a lot of facts and figures and, you know, do this, do that. That's going to be the most boring speech on the planet. So I took that and then put it into ChatGPT and said, let's make an outline. Let's write a script. Let's make the slides, and let's see what that looks like. Make sense?
So you would put some of the research, for example, into your prompt.
Yes. Yeah, we'll get to prompts in a second.
Okay.
How many people know what a prompt is? Okay, good. We're on the same page then. All right. Here's a tool you probably never saw before. Watch Josh's face on this one. This is a browser tool. It's an extension, and it's free. And now when you're writing, it will check it in real time if you ask it to. It will rewrite it for you if you ask it to. It will do all of these things along the side. Summarize, find emojis, check my grammar, chat with your PDF, write text using Notepad, search the character map. See this whole long list? It's doing all that in real time off of your browser. Look, he's smiling. He just found a new friend. Right? Because they're out there, guys. And then I take everything and I put it into Pictory. Pictory allows me to take a script and it will convert it to a video. And it converts it to a video using Getty Images, which used to be $1 bazillion. And they would sue you if you used it. So now I've used Perplexity to do the research. I've used Grammarly to help me convert it. I've rechecked it in Magic. I've rechecked it in ChatGPT. And to Destiny's point, if I'm really worried, Destiny, here's your magic moment. I put it in a ChatGPT and I have ChatGPT translate it to another language. Why? Because when you go from English to Spanish, English to Italian, English to whatever, and bring it back, it gets rid of all the nuances. It gets rid of all the confusion. It simplifies it. It puts words that are smaller instead of complicated. I love doing that. Because I will say, I'm going to go from ChatGPT and have it converted to, let's say, French, and I'm going to bring it back and say, I want 1,600 characters, or I want this to be a 5-minute speech. And Magic Tool will take it and do the same thing once you've got it into English and convert it into so many characters, so long, etc. So as an example right now, I post on LinkedIn, Facebook, social media while we're sitting here. A new article just went out because I've got it on autopilot to just fill up the space. Yes?
What tool do you use to translate it?
ChatGPT. There are other tools. Again, I have a new toy coming. I'm so excited. There's a new toy out that's an AI pin. It's about the size of this pin. And it's a telephone, it's a camera, and it's a translator. So you could talk to me in Italian, it listens, talks to me in English, I answer in English, and it talks back to you in Italian. How cool is that? And I am like a kid waiting every day for this to arrive so I can go play with it. Because I go out of the country often, and my 3 things that I know in about 20 languages is where's the toilet and give me the bill. You know, or that's pretty much it. This will actually have a conversation, along with the fact that it'll do a video. Along with the fact I could say, Josh and I are going to go to lunch. What do you recommend? Josh likes these 3 restaurants. How do you know? Because he's booked it on Open Table. It's somewhere on the internet. Which is his favorite? When was the last time he was at Pisano's Pizza? And what did he order? Fine. Put in the order for 12 o'clock. We'll be there. I want to have this ready for us. Boom. It's your own personal assistant. It's $700. A lot of money? No, we're paying $1,500 for a phone. So, you know, I get over the $700 when I make it as comparison to the new Androids and all the other stuff that's out there. Okay, a couple other tools. Canva. Magic stuff happens in Canva. 19-year-old lady created this. Microsoft just offered her $1 billion for it. She turned it down because she says, I'm going to make more money than that. 19 years old, she turned down $1 billion. Call me. Okay, 11 Labs, my new favorite toy. 11 Labs is a voice AI. If you upload enough to train it, it will clone your voice. Literally. So I'm going to show you how I clone my voice using this. What's the advantage? I'm a speaker. What if I'm hoarse? What if I'm tired? This is available 24/7. I can upload the script and it will read the script in my voice. Is it perfect? No. Is it 90% of the way there? Yes. But I'm relatively new at using it.
Is it eerie?
It is weird. It's just plain weird. I'm not even going to tell you the fact that there's another tool out there that'll clone me. And it will move my lips to that. And you literally have got me live and the fake one, and it gets hard to tell. That's the bad part. Because romance scams and all these other things, the bad guys are learning how to use it as well as the good guys. Magic moment for you. Jeff, never give anything away free. Never. It's complimentary. Complimentary has value. Free does not. So when you're doing something with your client, you say, well, I'm going to give it to you free. No. It's complimentary. Because then you're really saying, it had a price, but I'm waiving the price, but don't expect it. If I give it to you free and I want to come back and get it again, hey, chef, you gave me free coffee, give me another free coffee. No, it was complimentary the one time you were here. Now this is what we charge for. And that's how people get in trouble, because there's a big difference between free and complimentary. So here's my first complimentary for you. For those of you that are on Zoom that have ever done chat and try to say chat, it gives it to you in a run-on text message. It's a mess. This is a guy that I've helped develop a product called Chat Bridge. Now, I'm going to give you the trick to every link I give you. Every link that I give anybody starts off jfa.tips/whatever it is. So I've reduced those long URLs and I've branded it every time. So I'm going to give you a couple of these. So all you need to remember is every one of them starts jfa.tips/something. In this case, ChatBridge. When you use that, you'll get a 30-day complimentary trial. You will be blown away by what it does. It takes this gobbledygook, you probably can't see it, this gobbledygook, and literally converts it into Josh said this, Alicia said that, and you can break it down and put it into your CRM. ChatGPT and ChatBridge are perfect together. Number 2, I'm going to give you resources. Same thing, JFA tips/AI resources. I'm going to give you a website analyzer, market research tools, legal navigator, business launch guide with my compliments. Why? Because we are creating the AI Advantage Club. It has occurred to me that since my partner and I spend so much time, we're going to set up a membership club where you come on every week and we say, hey, here's the new thing we found. This is how it works. Or if you're looking for a particular tool, we'll help you find it. And we think that there's a real opportunity here to set up this new business called the AI Advantage Club. Now, I need a favor. If you can see the QR code, take a picture of it. Anybody that wants to come up, I don't know if you can see it, I'll get out of the way. But let me tell you why. That QR code is going to take you to a little short questionnaire. 5 questions. Did you like Jim? Was it relevant? Was it actionable? Etc. And then I'm going to give you a free gift for doing it. Why? Because your time is valuable. What I get out of this when I'm done is I get feedback from the audience. And I can say, well, I didn't do this right, or I didn't do that right, etc. Please come. I don't want to stop you from. You got it? Okay. Anybody else still need it? Did it work? I don't know if it works. Does it work at an angle?
Yeah, it did.
Cool. Why do you use this? So you get feedback from the audience, you can capture email information, and you have an opportunity to put them into your pipeline. Because now it's permission marketing. And when you go to this, we've arranged for you guys to have a complimentary use, but it is designed for speakers. If you want to custom code it, by the way, you need to enter a code, WBDC. It's it? Yes, it'll work. I'll leave that live, absolutely. Now, because you did this, here's what I'm going to do. Look, I've given you all this information. It gets confusing. So here's my top 50 tools. Go ahead, copy it. Knock yourself out. And I can't do that. When you send in your reports, I'm going to give you a link to be able to download this. And they're clickable. I've saved you all this time to chase it. Okay. So now let's talk about putting it all together. I've given you a lot of stuff, but I want to refine it for you. So I went to ChatGPT and I created an outline. Everybody understood how I did that? I used the stuff from Perplexity, loaded it in, said create an outline. Okay? So I did the research in Perplexity. Again, perplexity.ai. I then created the script in ChatGPT. This is the URL for ChatGPT, which is chat.openai.com. Then I checked it in Grammarly. This is how you get to Grammarly, app.grammarly.com. And then I put it into Magic Tool, because as Destiny said, what if somebody's copying and stealing it? I wanted to make sure that it was all original. Then I uploaded the script for my voice to 11 Labs. Okay? And then I took all of that into Pictory, started editing Pictory and realized I needed different pictures. So I went to Canva and created 7 new images from Canva. Any questions about this process? I've just given you a tutorial on how to use AI tools for your business. CEO or business owner looking to take your business to the next level and achieve tangible results. Look no further. Introducing our ChatGPT and AI Accelerator, a 7-week program. In this dynamic program, we're here to mentor you. This is not me talking. This is AI. AI and ChatGPT to develop a comprehensive and executable game plan that will future-proof your business. Once a week, 2 hours, we'll explore the world of AI and ChatGPT, helping you unlock transformative power. We understand that your time and money are precious resources, and that's why we continuously practice our program to provide you with tangible and transformative value using AI and chat. Throughout the program, your mentor, James Feldman, will guide you through AI and ChatGPT, helping lock your full potential. They will work with you once a week for 2 hours to provide hands-on experience and insight to utilizing cutting-edge technology to drive measurable business outcomes. It's tailored to your unique business, helping you gain competitive advantage, attract ideal clients, and dominate your market. You'll learn how to optimize your marketing efforts,
generate high converting leads, reduce the need for extra staff, and unlock scalable.
Can you guys hear it in the back or no?
Shereen and James will be available during open office hours.
So, new issue. I got to figure out how to change the volume, but when I recorded it, it sounded good, but now it's coming up and down. Again, I only did this day before yesterday, so I haven't had time to really tweak it.
AI and ChatGPT.
100% of the voice was done using
AI. Pretty amazing.
By leveraging the power of AI and ChatGPT, this program is your customized
It's what?
Hard enough listening to your own self.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, I've given you a lot of information. We have discovered what we think is a workable amount of time to learn how to use it specifically for your business. So Shereen, who was a corporate trainer, she wrote courses for large corporations. She and I have come together because I'm sort of the front guy and she's the one that does the heavy lifting. I always refer to it as salesmen make the promises, customer services keeps the promises. So we do a 2-hour every Thursday or Tuesday. Now we seem to think people want to move to the Tuesday. And it's for 7 weeks. Then we have open office hours. And so during that time, you've got 14 hours of instruction, unlimited access, and then you have unlimited access to us for lifetime. So if you're serious about it, you may want to think about getting more information or considering how to use it. Or you can do it by yourself. The trick with doing it by yourself is it's changing so rapidly that you can't keep up. So when we were talking about doing it, Shereen and I independently started listing the benefits. And we came up with a ridiculous number of $52,000 based on her billing rate, my billing rate, etc. And I said, nobody on the planet is going to spend $52,000. I don't care how good it is. What we did do is we came up with a new number of $29.97 because PayPal will let you make payments, put it on a PayPal account. But because of you guys, we said, let's give it one more thing. So if you want to do it, it's $24.97, and there's a QR code. So if you want more information or you want to see what it is, just take a picture of the QR code. If you got questions about it, feel free to contact Shereen or I. Yes, please.
And so there's big things and all this stuff, and small businesses don't have the money for lawsuits. So I don't know if you have any insights to it, and all these tools are new, and you said one, I can be used, it used to be used to anti-shake too, and now they can't. So all these tools, like, how do you keep up?
So there are now AI tools that are detectives. So if you go in and look for AI detective, you can download it and it will scrub anything that you've got. Here's 2 rules moving forward with the rest of your life. Never click on a URL that comes in an email from somebody you don't know. Never, ever, ever, even if you think you know them. If you want to do it, type it in. Because when you type it in, it doesn't go to that fake URL address. The second part is, when you get some of these, look to see who sent it from you. I mean, I put 200 a day, here's your refund check, or we need your signature on this document, or your Netflix is going to expire, or whatever. Anytime I check them out, they are from some foreign country or something that makes no sense. I love the ones that says, your iCloud subscription needs to be renewed, and it's coming from a Microsoft. Hello? I highly doubt that Apple is using Microsoft. So to your point, you just got to be much more careful than we ever had to be. A lot of deep fakes, a lot of bad people using the tools of AI.
So you said you can just take credit and put in the ChatGPT.
No. ChatGPT doesn't care. ChatGPT is not trying to compete with you. ChatGPT is a giant database. Trillions and trillions of data points. And it's just adding your information to the data points. If there is concern, you go into the ChatGPT, find your name on the left side, click on it, open it up, and there's 4 things that pop up on the menu. And those 4 things, one of them says, do you want to prohibit exporting your data to the database? And you just flip the switch and you're done. And nothing will ever be moved out. If that makes you feel better. My feeling is I'm not going to be alive long enough to know that somebody stole it. That's my feeling. If I have to worry about somebody stealing it, I'll think of something else. Guys, I've given you a lot of information in a short period of time. How about any other questions, any other concerns? Chef? Any questions? You haven't heard it all. I can keep going. Thank you.
Question in regard to using Microsoft Bing, the Copilot, is that, and I've heard, I don't know how true it is that they're using ChatGPT 4, and so therefore you can use Copilot as you would the paid version of ChatGPT, but for free. Is that?
That is true.
Okay.
Here's why. Microsoft invested over $10 billion in ChatGPT. What's interesting to me is that they're trying to get that to booster Copilot, but the back end of Copilot is indeed ChatGPT. Yes. There are some things that it doesn't do, that somehow OpenAI said, no, this is proprietary and we're not going to share it. But for the most part, you're absolutely right. And some people find it easier to use. Anybody else? I've answered every question about AI. Look at me. Yes.
So I'm actually interested in businesses that aren't going to be benefiting from AI. And to me, those are businesses where like physical labor is necessary. Do you ever think about that? And I understand you might make the case that to sell those services, you could use AI. But what are some things that you think AI won't be penetrating?
Well, anytime you've got someone who has to use their hands, it's a physical job. AI is not going to replace it. But is there a perhaps better way to do it physically? So as an example, I gave a talk to the independent electrical contractors. I mean, do they need AI? No. But they are all filling out RFPs to get the work. And they're doing it manually. And I said, I don't understand. And we literally came up on the fly with a template and said, did you put in testimonials? No. Are you just taking labor and materials and marking it up? Yes. No. You want to take labor, materials, mark it up, and then based on your particular skill set, charge 20% more because you're better than your competitors, or you clean up your mess, or you're always on time, or you've got insurance. By the way, do you have insurance? Yes. Are you certified? Well, I didn't know that. Yeah, you're certified. I live in a condo. I mean, the fact that I live in a condo, I know that they're moving it up 25 to 35%. Because it's such a pain in the neck to unload, go up the elevator, do all this other stuff. So to your point, I believe that if you're looking to see what ChatGPT and AI will do, there's always going to be something. You just have to understand. Now, we were talking about prompts. I didn't mean to ignore that. A prompt is when you're writing the question. A prompt is really 3 things. Who are you? What are you? I'm a CEO, blah, 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 blah. What is it that you're asking me? Research electrical contractors. And how do you want me to give you that information? Long, short, citations, etc. 3 simple things. If you don't know how to write the prompt, 3 rules. Keep it short, keep it simple, and ask ChatGPT how to write the prompt. I need to write a prompt for electrical contractors, what prompts do you suggest? Boom. And these people that are out there selling you prompts, I think it's hysterical. I'm going to send you 2,000 prompts, and it's $50. Hey, give me $50, I'll send you 5,000 prompts. I don't care, because I'm going to have ChatGPT write every one of them. So don't get pulled into that. And don't get pulled into buying 6 or 10 suite programs, or an expert wants to help you. It's still going to require you to spend some time learning how to do it, and how to use it, and what the benefits are. Yes.
I just want to mention what I learned using Dolly, which is in the Chat GPT 4.
Yes.
I actually tried to write a children's book. It illustrated it for me with the images and also helped me write it. Within using Dolly.
And it worked for you.
Yes, completely worked for me. It's all in how you word it in the section you was just talking about. If you word it correctly, it'll do it exactly the way you want it. If you want a cartoon or realistic, it'll do it exactly, the picture exactly the way you create it inside of the word.
If you want to take that to the next level, then you go to Mid-Journey.
Yes.
So Mid-Journey is much more like Photoshop for photo editing. It'll do anything, but it is a very difficult program to learn. It requires a real learning curve, where Dolly, you take what it gives you, and then you try to do something else with it. What I didn't hear you say is that you're asking it the same thing with your image, because it can't spell. It definitely can't spell. Right. Anybody else? Yes.
Okay, like, so you mentioned the languages and stuff.
You mentioned like the languages and making prompts. What if something like went went wrong, right? Like who is, because the AI ethics is like an issue. For example, my partner is a Brazilian supermodel, and sometimes we're talking in more than one language, and the AI is not always accurate. And if I say something in a language, for example, and the translation is not quite correct, and that person gets offended, there's little errors like that, and then the entertainment industry is obviously doing like lawsuits, and the models are,
Go to an AI tool that's specific to language translation.
Yeah, I tried those, and they're not. Sometimes they are mistranslating, or there's a bias in it. Like even on YouTube, it'll have like, an auto translate, and then you can see the bias in the translation. So what I mean is, like, as a business owner, do you have any advice, like if the AI puts something out there because the customer service is automated, and let's say it offends the customer, like what do you have any like guidance? And then also, of course, with the different lawsuits going on in the entertainment industry, because of things happening that you're aware of, like what's your advice as a business owner?
My advice is, if you're worried about that, then I would notify the person up front that you're using AI and put a disclaimer in. I am using artificial intelligence. By the way, I don't call it artificial intelligence. I refer to it as assisted interpretation. Assisted interpretation. It's not always right. And then I've covered myself, right? Because you're right. I mean, I didn't hear it correctly, I didn't pronounce it correctly, and suddenly I've said something that's offensive. So you want to get around that as quickly as possible.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Sure.
They wanted to know, can ChatGPT help write grants, and would you